Yo, boxing aficionados, what's up? What's going on? Hey, yo, check this out. Gonna introduce to you Top Rank Tuesdays, right? So in this episode of Top Rank Tuesday, what we're gonna talk about is on the fight that took place this weekend. That's Friday night. The Munguia versus Barzinyan card. And, you know, I'd like to go through the fight card as much as I remember. But one of the things that I like to do is look at the prospects coming up. And that's where Top Rank really stands out. Top Ranks, to me, reminds me of kind of like the 2000s Oakland A's, right? Like the Oakland A's of the 2000s, the Moneyball Oakland A's, where they just kind of like had a lot of prospects and were prospect rich and didn't spend too much money on top free agents, and they went another route and could make deep runs into the playoffs. But that's neither here nor there. Top Rank has a very interesting philosophy. They got top names in top divisions, top money divisions, especially in the heavyweight. And then they've got a lot of prospects in these lower divisions. They've got top names, of course, Naoya Inoue. But I think that's probably their biggest names. Fury, Inoue, what's his name? Beterbiev, things along those natures. And then they got a whole slew of prospects, and that's what they do. They develop prospects. And the one that stood out to me this weekend is a kid named Steven Navarro. Steven Navarro, 115-pounder. Man, I think he was fighting, I think they call him a bantamweight, but that's neither here nor there. But that guy was impressive. Very, very, very impressive. Steven Navarro, I call him the Chicano Lomachenko. Lefty. I could tell this guy must have grown up watching Lomachenko. I guess he must have... I can't wait till somebody interviews him. But you don't become that familiar with Lomachenko's movements. You don't reproduce Lomachenko's movements so well without having to have idolized him. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know this for a fact, I know that Lomachenko must have been a very good, a very big influence on Steven Navarro. He moved like him. He threw punches like him, the same angles, the same in and out combinations. It was like watching Lomachenko, except that Steven Navarro hits about 3 times as hard in his weight class than Lomachenko. Lomachenko, he made you quit because he frustrated you. The Lomachenko at his very, very best would make you quit off volume and just embarrassing fighters, frustrating fighters to quit. That's not Steven Navarro. Steven Navarro is knocking dudes out. He has concussive power, plus the angles, and the ability to hit you with something you don't see coming because his punches come off quick. Now, having said that, he is a prospect. He is a prospect who was being built up. He fought a guy from the same country that, what's his name come from? What's his name? The same country that Alexis Arguello, Nicaragua, right? Yeah, he fought a guy from Nicaragua, and the guy was tough. Even in receiving the beating that he did, he never gave up. And he caught Stephen Navarro with good shots. And you could tell that the guy hit hard. But I don't know who's training. Well, he's actually with Marvin Zamudio over at the Top Rank gym, and his father. But his father is the head trainer, and Zamudio kind of like helps out or giving additional instruction or trains him outside in the gym. But in the ring, his father's the one giving instructions. And I don't know. He really emulates Lomachenko. It can't be a coincidence. So he was the most impressive of all the prospects that fought that night. The worst one to me was except for the guy who lost. I'll get to that. But DJ Zamora, who's with K Karoma. DJ Zamora, who's with the K Kokora. It's like a tongue twister to say that. But no, DJ Zamora, I don't know. In Spanish, they say, lo veo feo pa la foto, which means I don't see much in him. You know, he hits hard, but I don't know if it's the trainer. You know, K Kamura doesn't really... Is it K Kamura? What's his name? K Karoma. I think he's a name. I don't really think he's all that as far as a trainer. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Point is that this DJ Zamora guy made a lot of mistakes in there. His power, he hits hard, but it isn't. He has the power, but no delivery. He's very straightforward. Doesn't seem to hit anybody with punches they don't see coming. He doesn't use a lot of angles, just being very straightforward. And he has defensive lapses. He doesn't move his head off the line. Doesn't really parry that well. Doesn't evade. I don't know, man. He's all right, but lo veo feo pa la foto. He's really not all that. Who else was on that card? Well, let me get to the tragedy. Alan Garcia. Alan Garcia fought a very tough Mexican. Forget his name. Alan Garcia was beating this guy up from pillar to post. But the guy kept coming. And Alan Garcia was styling and profiling and making it look easy. He was taller, he was leaner, he was more athletic than the guy he was fighting. But you can't measure heart. Not that Alan Garcia doesn't have heart. But that Mexican was just tough, man. He just... Tough guy. And he detonated a hellified right hand on Alan Garcia that took him out. Now, Alan Garcia was on the verge of becoming one of those Timothy Bradley top prospects, and he was at an interesting position in the fight card. I guess people moved up the fight card because of Andres Cortez, not who was supposed to be on the card, not being able to fight. So I guess everybody moved up. But Alan Garcia had a very, what I know at Top Rank is a coveted position. He was the bout that was about to go into the main card on the network. He was the bout, the switch bout, the last bout on the ESPN feed, the ESPN Plus feed, when they're about to go then switch to the network where they usually have 3 fights. And he had made it up to that slot. Of course, if Andres Cortez were in that fight, then Alan Garcia would have probably been in a lower slot than he was. So I guess, you know, it wasn't like he was a ready for prime time player yet, or if he was in that coveted position. But it's about performance. Once you get to that position, if you do what you have to do, maybe the next time you get that position again. And then you're not that far away from being on the main fight card on the ESPN channel. I see how Top Rank moves their fights. It's like a conveyor belt. It's like they're really methodical conveyor, and they just do the same thing over and over again. It's, you know, very interesting how they do that. But Alan Garcia got caught, man. And Alan Garcia, it was so funny. Well, not funny. So I kind of like the kid. He looks the part. And he has talent and skill, and he was with that trainer, Gloria. I forget her last name, but that lady can train, man. And they were talking about how her and Alan Garcia have this like kinetic connection where it was really interesting to watch. She would say that hit 2 lefts, 3 lefts, and he would do it like very robotic, very. But then Timothy Bradley, just before what happened, mentioned that he was impressed by the ability to take instruction and reproduce instructions from that lady Garcia, or from Gloria. But then he said something. He brought her just before it happened. He said, "Man, but that's good, but it can also be bad because you have to be a free thinker, and then sometimes you have to be able to just have instinct and fight. If he's in there waiting for instruction, then he can get caught up in waiting for instruction and get caught with something, and boom." It's exactly what happened, man. I was like, oh, I did not expect that. The way he was dominating that fight, I did not expect that at all. That guy that he fought from Nicaragua would knock him out. And it segues to this. This is exactly why when a prospect signs with Top Rank, you have to respect that prospect. I respect Vargas, Emiliano Vargas, signing with Top Rank. He could have signed anywhere. But when you sign with Top Rank, you got to know that their mantra is not about making you look good. Their mantra is about entertaining the fans. And even when they're building you up and they throw you in there with, you know, somebody who you think is a journeyman or a tomato can or whatever, or, you know, a build-up fight. No. They get their hands on tough opponents. Guys that are tough mentally, guys who can punch, can take a punch, and who are going to test you. You have to be ready to run a gauntlet when you sign with Top Rank. You really, really do. These Bruce Tramplers, you sign, and their job is to entertain the audience. And in order to entertain the audience, they're going to have to put you in pretty tough fights to be entertaining. It happened with the kid, Elvis Rodriguez. Elvis Rodriguez, I think he won the fight. He's just signed with Top Rank. They put him in there in a showcase fight. He almost got knocked out. Here he is, went to PBC, you know, built up his career, or, you know, was on the rise. Top Rank then, okay, you know, brings him back over, and they put him, you know, with an opponent, what they referred to as an opponent. And that opponent almost decapitates Elvis Rodriguez. I don't remember if he won or lost that fight. I know that he got knocked down. I think he came back and stopped the guy. It was a hell of a damn fight. A hell of a... Yeah, Elvis Rodriguez came back. I think he stopped the dude. But it was not easy. And you would think that Elvis Rodriguez was in a position to challenge for belts already. Not that he's a recognizable name, but, you know, he's been around. He's got some kind of a buzz. And you think you signed this guy and you're going to, like, build him, you know, build up a fight between him and Teofimo Lopez. Well, let me keep him safe so you can make this fight. And Top Rank was like, no. We need to find out what you got, because we need to entertain these fans. You know, they run a ludus at Top Rank. And so, to that end, Alan Garcia, he was styling and profiling, thought it was a boom. At any given moment, you can see an upset on Top Rank. It was something else, man. Now, getting to what's going to happen with Alan Garcia. Can he come back from that? Will he be another Carlos Banderas, who was never quite the same? Can he have the mental fortitude? Does he have the mental fortitude to be able to withstand this knockout? You know, is it going to affect his connection with his trainer, Gloria? Is he going to start looking for another trainer? You know, you never know, man. You never know what happens. It's not the same. That when they take you zero, and they take you zero like that, especially, man, that can affect the guy, man. But I know how Top Rank operates. They'll give him a comeback fight if they like the kid. I think they do like the kid. They'll give him a comeback fight. And it'll probably be against that same guy. Immediate rematch. Because the philosophy over at Top Rank is that when their prospects get beat or whatever, rematch them. Because we need that guy. We need that guy. We believe in this, especially if they believe in him. You got your loss. It's okay, kid. We're not here at Top Rank. It's not about the zero. But you got to go face that man and beat that man and, you know, show us what you got and get over that fear or the psychological effects of that knockout. And that's what they're going to do with Alan Garcia. I bet you he's going to rematch that guy. Maybe not immediately. Maybe it won't be for a while, because it was a hell of a concussive blow. He might not be in the ring for you know, at least 8 months. But he's going to see that guy again. And they're going to rebuild him. Now, moving up, you got Emiliano Vargas. Emiliano Vargas, he's a great fighter, man. I can't believe he's at 140. I thought that, you know, what I like about what they're doing with what not what they're doing, but what Emiliano Vargas is doing is that he's not being a weight bully. He's not being a weight bully. He's not trying to stay at 135 because he can make the weight and maybe rehydrate. No, he's back. He's up there at 140 now, man. I'm surprised that they would do that. That the Vargases would do that. I know that was their choice. But that's the mentality of that family, man. And El General Emiliano Vargas, Timothy Bradley's right. He is the most marketable prospect that Top Rank's got. I mean, but this kid is actually fighting all the time. He's not on social media building up, you know, fan page and Twitter followings and you know, he's not there. He doesn't have the social media presence that Ryan Garcia has. He definitely can challenge Ryan Garcia in the whole looks department, the boy band looks and the handsome, the debonair. But this guy is more about fighting. He's skilled, man. He's a hell of a puncher. Now, I'm not buying that whole thing about that Fryer is as tough as opponent. I mean, Fryer had been out of the ring. Fryer can't deal with no, you know, Emiliano Vargas. So I wasn't buying that whole thing that they try to build up that opponent to be this, like, oh my God, it's original. No. I wasn't buying that. But Emiliano Vargas is going to be in some tough fights. He's going to be in some big fights, I mean. And it's going to be rather very, very soon. And we're going to find out about Emiliano Vargas. And that brings me to Richard Torres. Richard Torres. And I'm going to do a deep dive into Richard Torres, man. Because he's quite impressive in that just the fact that he got knocked out by Jolalov as an amateur. When Jolalov, you know, because they were allowed to fight as pros for their country. I guess the Uzbeks do that, you know. He fought for Uzbekistan as a pro. He knocked out Richard Torres. But what's impressive is that Richard Torres never changed his style of fighting. I mean, he got better. He fought Jolalov again. He gave him a hell of a fight in the amateurs the second time after being knocked out. It's hard for someone to so many fighters getting knocked out. It changes who they are. Anthony Joshua hasn't been the same since Andy Ruiz. You know, Anthony Joshua was this. He came back and fought Andy Ruiz on the rematch, and he became a boxer. You know, using his athleticism. You know. He definitely got changed. Manny Pacquiao, although Manny Pacquiao had suffered knockouts prior to his knockout loss against Juan Manuel Marquez. You know, Manny Pacquiao got knocked out. I think it was in his third fight of his career or something. Very, very, very early in his career. And still, you know, developed into the destructor that he was. But when he suffered the knockout against Juan Manuel Marquez, he wasn't the same fighter. when he came back after that. He wasn't committed to destruction the way he was prior. He wasn't committed to destruction in the same way that got him knocked out against Juan Manuel Marquez, because he came forward to destroy Marquez and got caught. And Manny Pacquiao was never the same after that. He wasn't. So for Richard Torres, and there's a whole slew of fighters who getting knocked out changes them. So for Richard Torres to maintain this aggression when he fights, having been knocked out before, is very impressive to me. I like that he's building himself differently. He's using, doing tap dance and classes to get himself better, more nimble, and use angles. And he's employing the whole speed and quickness. And he's a hell of a ferocious puncher, man. His opponent, Joey DeWaco, I didn't buy Joey DeWaco being this big challenge to him. Come on. Guys, he's a roofer. He's a roofer. Stop it. Yeah, he's from tough Philadelphia, and he's been in the ring with Frank Sanchez and this, no, but he wasn't gonna pose no challenge to Richard Torres. Come on, stop. And he didn't, and it was what it was. Too bad that Richard Torres didn't get knock him out, because Joey DeWaco, decided to not be the tough fighter that he proposed himself to be. What you thought he was supposed to take, and push Torres. It didn't happen. That's for sure. And that gets us to the main event. And I'm a little bit confused about what the relationship with Jaime Munguia and Top Rank is. Jaime Munguia says that he is a one-fight deal. Top Rank is saying they got plans for... It's like somebody's not on the same page. Like, what's going on? And Oscar De La Hoya says, oh, no, he's just one fight and he's going to come back to us. And it's a lot going on with that. But, and the fighters that he called out, let me go through the Barzinyan fight. Munguia gets hit. Munguia is the type of guy that's going to lose rounds. Munguia is a type of guy that's going to finish fights strong. And, I used to gig on Munguia because he has like almost 50 fights already. He's so young, and, and he's fought a lot of nobodies. But he's fought, Derevchenko, Ali, the guy Ali that he knocked out when he was 154. Something Ali or whatever the hell it was. But he's definitely been protected in his career. But he's also been a very exciting fighter in his career. And I would definitely pick him over Berlanga. I think he's got a lot of heart. Munguia's got a lot of heart. And I'm impressed that he took on this Barzinyan guy. And coming back. After he didn't have to come back and take on Barzinyan. Barzinyan's no push. Barzinyan's in Mark Ramsey's gym with Beterbiev and a whole bunch of killers that they got in Canada. So I was impressed that he took on that fight. He was undefeated. And got outboxed the first half of the fight. You know, Barzinyan, it's no pushover. And then he finished him late. And that's what Munguia does. Munguia is a very exciting fighter, man. And at the end of that fight, he calls out Caleb Plant and he wants Berlanga. Neither of which are with Top Rank. And Top Rank's talking about they're building up him against Mbili. But that performance that Berlanga put up against Cotto changes things. Because, you know, the performance that Berlanga put up against not Cotto, but Canelo, the performance that Berlanga put up against Canelo has put him in a position. I don't know why, because all he did was just survive, but has put him in a position that he is definitely a money man in the division, in conjunction to whoever opponent he is. You know, I don't think he's a money man in that by himself, but in conjunction with Munguia, that's pay-per-view. In conjunction with Caleb Plant, that's pay-per-view. You know, they could have their own little Canelo leftover tournaments and make a lot of money. So they don't need an Mbili. No. They don't need an Mbili to make money. So I don't know what the hell Top Rank is talking about with making all these plans, but we'll see. I know Top Rank has a hell of a relationship with Zanfer Promotions. The two peas in a bucket, two peas in a pot. They're almost as close with Zanfer Promotions as they are with Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions. It's like family. So one hand watches the other, and both hands wash the face. That's what they say. One hand washes the other, and both wash the face. And that's how Top Rank has relationships that get them in position to have the Neo Inoue, who's really with Checking Promotion, to be able to tell you to have make fights with Munguia. You know, even better beef is their relationship with Mark Ramsey and them, you know. So that's how Top Rank really expands on their roster and puts themselves always in position at the top. It's really fascinating to watch, man. Top Rank does their thing in such a clandestine way, man, that you just like, damn, how the hell these people always up top? But it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. What I'm trying to say here is this. I wish I knew what the clearly what Munguia's relationship with Top Rank was, so that I can do more of an evaluation of what the future is going to be regarding Mbili versus Munguia. Even if he were to have a multi-fight deal with Top Rank, I don't think that Mbili would be next. I'm going to say this again. Even if Munguia had a multi-year, multi-fight deal with Top Rank, I still don't believe that Mbili would be next. For one, Mbili's hurt. He's going for some kind of surgery. For two, Mbili is very highly ranked in the WBC. So he has his own little path to Canelo. For 3 or for 2. I don't know what the hell. I hate when I count off stuff and then forget my count. But, and Billy also, I mean, he beat Derevyanchenko from pillar to post, but Derevyanchenko was one-handed and still survived that fight, man. And there was moments there that he exposed Billy, or looked like he hit Billy with stuff. I mean, Billy was never hurt, but it would have been better for Billy if he would have stopped Derevyanchenko, who's never been stopped. He'd been able to stop Derevyanchenko and do something that's never been done to a fighter of a caliber like Derevyanchenko. It would have fared a whole lot better for him and his own name recognition, and putting him in position to fight against the Plants, the Munguias, and the Berlangas of the world. What's interesting is the Plant fight. If TOPRANK can make an Billy against Plant fight and let Munguia versus Berlanga take care of itself, because that's a natural fight. That's a natural fight in that the whole Mexican-Puerto Rican thing, they're going to want to capitalize on that. They're not going to want to have Berlanga fuck around too much and get beat by somebody, because Berlanga is ready to get beat by somebody. By a nobody. A nobody can beat Berlanga. Berlanga ain't all that. So they're going to want to maybe bring him back and make him look good in one fight, and then boom, go into a big fight. And that big fight's probably going to be Munguia, so they can make bank like they did against Canelo. They're going to try to stay in the same tax bracket that same kind of money, more or less, that they made against Canelo. And that's Munguia. That's not Plant so much. Berlanga Plant doesn't make the same money that Berlanga versus Munguia does. So therefore, Plant versus Billy makes a lot of sense. Because Plant's suffering with the PBC. He's not eating. He might not be in the ring for another year. So if TOPRANK can make him an offer on his name, maybe, I don't know, co-promoting. They got some fighters, some Al Heyman fighters that they're co-promoting. If they could get Plant over here, over to TOPRANK, who knows? That'd be a good fight. That would be a good fight. Plant and Billy would be the type of fight that Billy would, his name would then rise to the ranks of where the other names are, you know. Anyway, it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Top Rank Tuesdays. Peace. I'm out.